Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a movie that, when it first came out, felt like pure, over-the-top Hollywood fantasy. I'm talking about 2004's blockbuster, The Day After Tomorrow. Remember the premise? A sudden, catastrophic climate shift plunging the Northern Hemisphere into a new ice age almost overnight. Giant blizzards, flash freezes, and tidal waves hitting Manhattan. At the time, critics dismissed it as climate fiction taken to the extreme. But here's the terrifying part. Almost 2 decades later, this movie seems less like a fantasy and more like a warning. The film actually highlighted several specific climate disasters that scientists are now seeing unfold in real time, right outside our windows. Today, we're counting down 5 scary climate disasters predicted by The Day After Tomorrow that are already happening or are closer than we ever thought possible. Trust me, number 3 is the one that climate scientists lose the most sleep over. Let's start with number 1, the rapid collapse of ice sheets and the subsequent sea level rise. In the movie, the crisis kicks off when an ice shelf the size of Rhode Island breaks off, dropping massive amounts of fresh water into the Atlantic. This is visually dramatic, leading directly to the shutdown of ocean currents. While the speed of the movie's collapse is exaggerated, the reality is that major ice sheets are destabilizing much faster than predicted. Think about Greenland and Antarctica. The melting rates there have accelerated dramatically in the last 2 decades. We're not just talking about minor shrinkage, we're talking about huge chunks of ice the size of countries breaking away. This isn't just a concern for polar bears. This is about coastal cities. The melting ice adds enormous volumes of water to the oceans, pushing sea levels higher and higher. Cities like Miami, New Orleans, and even parts of New York are already dealing with sunny day flooding, tides washing into the streets even without a storm. The movie showed massive tsunamis flooding New York, but the real-life disaster is a slow, steady, relentless inundation that is displacing millions of people worldwide. Moving on to number 2. Extreme weather events becoming the new normal, specifically superstorms and intense rainfall. The Day After Tomorrow features unprecedented blizzards and hurricane-force winds that form in days rather than weeks. Now let's look at the real world. We are seeing weather systems that defy historical norms. The term bomb cyclone didn't exist in common vocabulary 20 years ago, but now it's a regular feature on weather reports. We're seeing hurricane seasons start earlier, last longer, and produce storms that intensify at terrifying speeds, a phenomenon known as rapid intensification. Look at recent typhoons and hurricanes that jumped from Category 1 to Category 5 in under 24 hours. That sudden, hyper-intense storm development is exactly the kind of volatility the movie depicted. Furthermore, when the atmosphere is warmer, it holds more moisture. This means when it rains, it pours. We're seeing 100-year floods happening every few years now, overwhelming infrastructure and leading to catastrophic flash flooding, just like the initial extreme precipitation events that signaled the global climate shift in the film. Now for number 3, the potential shutdown or significant slowing of the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, or AMOS. This is the big one, the core mechanism of the movie's disaster, and it's the scenario that genuinely worries climate scientists. The AMOC is essentially a massive ocean conveyor belt that moves warm water from the tropics up to the North Atlantic, keeping Europe and North America significantly warmer than they would otherwise be. In the movie, the rapid influx of melted fresh water from the ice sheets dilutes the salt content of the North Atlantic, causing this critical circulation system to grind to a halt. This leads to the immediate, catastrophic cooling that triggers the ice age. In reality, scientists have already detected a significant weakening of the AMOC. Studies published in journals like Nature, Climate Change, suggest the AMOC is currently at its weakest point in over 1,000 years. While we're not going to see an ice age next week, a severe slowdown would have devastating global consequences. It would mean colder winters in Europe, rising sea levels along the U.S. East Coast, and massive shifts in global rainfall patterns, leading to severe droughts in some regions and floods in others. The movie took this concept to an extreme, but the underlying science, that freshwater input weakens the AMOC, is terrifyingly accurate and already in motion. Next up, number 4, unpredictable and immediate temperature swings. One of the most shocking moments in The Day After Tomorrow is the sudden, catastrophic drop in temperature that literally flash freezes people where they stand. While the physics of freezing instantaneously are fictional, the increasing unpredictability and volatility of temperatures are not. We are witnessing temperature swings that break records in both directions. Consider the recent phenomena of polar vortex disruptions. As the Arctic warms faster than the rest of the planet, the jet stream, which normally locks that cold air around the pole, becomes wavier and weaker. This allows frigid Arctic air to sometimes plunge deep into temperate zones, causing unprecedented cold snaps and blizzards in places like Texas or the southern U.S., regions ill-equipped to handle such extreme cold. Conversely, the same instability leads to heat domes and record-shattering summer temperatures in places like the Pacific Northwest, where historical highs are often surpassed by several degrees in a single summer. This whiplash effect, extreme heat followed by extreme cold, sometimes in the same season, reflects the chaotic climate instability the movie warned about. Finally, number 5, mass migration and resource scarcity driven by climate change. Although the movie focuses heavily on the immediate climate shift, a major consequence shown is the mass migration of Americans fleeing the frozen north toward Mexico, seeking warmth and resources. This scenario underscores the inevitable humanitarian crisis that comes with climate breakdown. Today, climate migration is already a massive global issue. Droughts, desertification, and rising seas are rendering large swathes of land uninhabitable, particularly in the global south. People are being forced to leave their homes, often moving across borders in search of security, food, and water. This pressure on resources leads to instability, conflict, and humanitarian emergencies. While the movie's U.S.-Mexico border reversal was a dramatic plot point, the reality of millions of climate refugees putting unprecedented strain on national resources and international cooperation is sadly a reality we are grappling with right now. The movie shows that when resources fail and the environment collapses, human systems also fail. So, while The Day After Tomorrow might not win any awards for scientific accuracy in speed or scale, it functioned as a terrifyingly effective alarm bell. It took complex, slow-moving climate science, the destabilization of ice sheets, the weakening of ocean currents, and the increase in extreme weather, and translated it into a visceral, inescapable nightmare. The core message of the film remains crucial. Our planetary systems are interconnected and fragile. We don't have the luxury of waiting until the flash freeze hits Manhattan. The warning signs are already here. By understanding how close we are to the tipping points depicted in this movie, maybe we can finally treat this crisis with the urgency it demands. What do you think? Did The Day After Tomorrow influence your views on climate change? Let me know in the comments below which of these disasters you find the most alarming. If you found this video insightful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into science and cinema. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.